let's dig in a little bit deeper about this concept of venture client model.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? How does it work?
So first of all, it's very important to know is it's not an accelerator and it's not an incubator. And it's not venture capital. So the basic difference is if as an accelerator or as a corporate venture capitalist, what you do is you buy the equity of a startup. As a venture client, you don't buy the equity, you buy the product of a startup. And you buy it at a stage where, from the point of view of the corporate, there is a big venture involved into that. Because the technology from the startup may not be ready, may not be certified, may not be scalable, but it's still very innovative. So it's a strong piece of experimentation, if you will. And that's why we called it venture client. And that was totally new within BMW because obviously the concept of buying a product that's not finished didn't exist. Because obviously for a corporate to purchase a product from an external company, you have to overcome many walls,
right?
Administrational walls. So what companies were doing, and they're still doing today, is they're buying the equity with the intention of generating a strategic benefit. But what we saw is that by buying the equity, you do not generate any strategic benefit because buying the equity of a company does not give you access to this company's product. For example, if you want to experiment and see and to benefit from, let's say, the iPhone, you don't go and buy Apple shares and walk into an Apple store and say, I'm a shareholder of Apple, please give me an iPhone, correct? It doesn't make any sense. They could say, hey, I'm happy to welcome you as a shareholder, but hand over $1,000 if you want to have the iPhone.
Right.
So what corporates, the mistake corporates are doing with corporate venture capital is that they use corporate venture capital as an intermediary that's extremely slow, extremely complex, extremely expensive and risky in order to access the technology of a startup in a second step. So basically the corporate venture capital becomes the bottleneck to conducting very efficient and fast experiments with the startup technology.
Right.
And that huge cost and huge risk associated with hundreds of millions of venture capital basically reduces the ability of a corporate to do experiments with startups because you can only invest in 5 startups per year. So basically